Tour of Chongming Island was the first stage race in the Women's World Tour of 2016. This well-organized race was one for the sprinters. Most of the European women teams were not present in China for this World Tour race, so it was up to the riders and teams that were here to gain more points for the overall ranking. Although Women's World Tour leader Lizzie Armistead didn't start in China, no one was close enough to challenge her for the lead during the 3-day stage race here in Chongming Island. All 3 stages were marked by multiple attacks and hard work in the peloton to get the riders back, but that meant fast average speeds. Besides that, the average temperature was 27 degrees Celsius with a full overcast, so it was humid. The Tour of Chongming Island was also marked by the perfect lead-out trains for the sprinters. The teams of WorldTour, Team Wiggle High 5, Ale Cipollini and Team High-Tech Products gave a perfect example of how it's done. A big surprise on the first stage when the bunch sprint has started. Everyone's looking at Team Wiggle High 5 and WorldTour, but on the left side of the peloton there's a blue rocket that shoots out of nowhere. It is the Taiwanese Huang that wins surprisingly the first stage and will also wear the first yellow jersey. Then on the second stage, pretty much the same settings as the first stage, multiple attacks and high speeds. So it's hard for the smaller teams to stay into the peloton. And in this breakaway, pretty much all the favorites for the win. But they were caught back by the hard work of Ale Cipollini, who missed the break. And we prepare ourselves for yet another bunch sprint. Again, perfect lead-out trains, and this time it's Chloe Hosking that starts a sprint just on the right time. The rider of Wiggle High 5 wins before Lea Kirchmann and takes over the lead in the overall classification. Big surprise of the day is youngster Jip van der Bos. The Dutch rider of Park Hotel Valkenburg sprints to 3rd and takes the young rider jersey. Unfortunately, there's no footage of the 3rd stage. But due to a crash, it was Huang that took the win again, just before Fournier and Ilona Hoeksma. Because Hosking won the bonification points in the sprints, she stays in yellow and wins the Tour of Chongming Island. In the overall classification of the Women's World Tour, nothing really changed. Armistead still remains leader, although Kirchmann and Hosking entered the top 10. Best young rider is still Kasia Niewiadoma, who didn't start here, but Jip van der Bos is now 3rd. Next stop in the Women's World Tour, Amgen Tour of California.